It's a town that knows all about struggle. The immigrant miners who settled here in 1878 struggled, but not like this. The once bustling streets of downtown Louisville, Colorado, are now nearly empty. It's become a ghost town in a coronavirus winter. You can see the struggle on the faces of the workers. You can see the shock, fear, and worst of all, uncertainty. Their small businesses have been devastated. Their dreams on the verge of being shattered. Some have seen revenues drop more than 80%. Survival can be a struggle even in better times, when rent and taxes often exceed $10,000 a month. But with little or no income, razor-thin margins have nearly vanished. But then, people came and eased the struggle. They left the safety of their homes to support their small-town businesses. And in a desperate attempt to survive, businesses adapted. For those trying to stay afloat, there were no words to express the gratitude. But the business owners know there will be more dark days ahead. Curbside service and online sales can keep you going only for so long. In these uncertain times, the one thing they all have is hope. And the comfort of knowing that in this struggle, the community has their back. Thanks to Chris Wheeler from Great Divide Pictures for those, and Peter Cater, a Grammy Award-winning artist for the music. More information on specific businesses in Louisville, check out the Facebook page for Downtown Louisville, Colorado.